to Stretch and Release. I'm Coach Wade, and today we're working on things that you can do in the office as far as stretches go. So right now I'm sitting here in this chair. Our main focus are things that you can do if you happen to be watching this at your computer, maybe you're on your lunch break, maybe you're on a different kind of break, but we're going to focus right now on something called breath work. This is something that people do in yoga a lot. It helps warm up your body. You can use your breath for a whole lot of different purposes. But yoga's been around for 1,000 years, so sometimes it's nice to be able to borrow things from things like that have a lot of experience. So in yoga, one thing that you do with your breath purposefully is try to use it to help warm up your body, to help build a little bit of heat through your body, as well as allow you to stretch just a little bit further with your breath. So as we're first practicing breathing, I want you to focus on proper posture. Try not to lean back in that chair, especially if you have one of those chairs that allows you to lean way back, one of those office chairs. But in this seated position right now, focusing on kind of stacking your shoulders, letting your head lift tall. I'll have you take a deep breath in through your nose. Let that air fill your chest, your lungs, and even feel your stomach rise before you exhale it back out. And we're going to practice just taking a few breaths, very audible, very visual breaths. You should see your stomach rise with each breath. You should feel your chest rise, and you should forcefully push the air back out. Ideally, all of it through your nose for now. Deep breath in. And a slow exhale out. If you want to exhale out through your mouth, you're welcome to, but as much as you can, we're going to try and focus that breathing through the nose right now. So your head is tall, shoulders are back, deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Deep breath in. Right now, as you're practicing that breathing, we'll be doing this for about 1 more minute. I'll have you just go at your own pace, breathing with your breath. But every breath in, let your head lift even taller towards the ceiling if you can. Every exhale, allow your shoulders to relax down, maybe even back a little bit, allowing the muscles through your neck, your traps, that especially when you're in the office, have a tendency to be up, typing, texting, writing on what you need to. Allow those muscles to relax down as your head lifts tall. So another deep breath in, and a slow exhale out. And this time as you take that deep breath in, let that head grow tall. Grab your hand and allow your neck to turn to the side, stretching out here through the muscles in your neck as you're still practicing that breathing. Every exhale, you should feel yourself stretch just a little bit further. You can push your neck down just a little bit further, your head down, to feel that stretch, but your body should almost sink into that breath as you breathe. So a deep breath in, and a slow exhale. Allowing that neck to come just a little further, keeping that shoulder pressed down. And switch sides. Deep breath in again. And as you exhale, keeping that shoulder down, letting that head turn to the side. Right now you're allowing the muscles through your traps and your neck to relax. In an office setting, again, your shoulders are usually in this upward position. They're usually rounded forward. A lot of people are sitting like this. Hunched forward. So all of the stretches we're doing today are very focused on opening up your chest, opening up your shoulders, and we'll even do some towards the end, opening up your hips. But after you finish that stretch, take another deep breath in, letting that head grow tall. Stomach is kind of engaged. Chest forward. Exhale. 1 more deep breath in, reach your arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, I'm going to have you push your hands down, opening your chest up, feeling that stretch all through here. And you're welcome to hang out right here in the stretch as you feel that through your chest. Or you can flow with your breath, so every inhale, reaching up. Every exhale, coming down. Or just hanging out here in that stretch. But as you're stretching, especially on those exhales, think about bringing that shoulder back just a little bit as well as down. You should feel that all through your chest, through your shoulders. Right here is what you're looking for. Some people call this a goalpost stretch, because if you look in the mirror right now, or if you look in the camera, kind of look like a little goalpost. But taking your time to stretch there across the chest. 1 more deep breath in, reaching your arms up. And exhaling out. All right. Next, crossing your right leg across your left. This is another easy one to do in the office. A lot of people can do it even while they're working, so if you happen to not even be on your break yet, this is a good stretch to do while you're in that office. You'll just cross that leg over, and for some people, this is enough stretch. You can feel that a lot through the glutes on the side of your leg there too. If you have the ability to, and you can lean forward a little bit, you can lean forward and make that stretch get just a little bit more intense. But you'll see people do this stretch a lot of ways. Right now we're trying to keep that leg pretty much parallel to the ground. You'll see people cross over. You'll see people do some different versions of it. Right now, stomach tight, head tall, and right across the knee there. And then slowly start coming forward. Stretching that out. Taking a deep breath in, you'll feel your head grow tall in whichever direction it's facing. So if you're leaning forward at about a 45-degree angle, your head's going to grow out. And as you exhale, allow yourself to sink just a little deeper into that stretch. So one more deep breath in. And exhale down, feeling that stretch get just a little bit more intense. And then switch sides. And this is a stretch again for the hips. A lot of people who sit a lot are going to have a lot of tightness here. So that is one awesome stretch to do if you happen to have an office job where you're spending a lot of time in that seated position. And some of the neck stretches too will also be very good for that. But that deep breath in, head tall. And right now, before I'm even starting, I can feel that tightness there in the side. Slowly start leaning forward. Every exhale, I should feel myself get just a little bit lower. And again, if you can audibly hear that breath and audibly push that breath where you want it, that full deep breath in through your chest, your lungs, and your stomach before you exhale back out. One more deep breath in. And a slow exhale out. And rest. So this next stretch, we will start in a seated position. If this is your only option for doing it, you can definitely do it in a seated position, but you'll get more benefits to dropping down to your knees in it. This one is called a camel pose. This is a stretch from yoga. You'll have your hands into a ball like that, and you're going to place that right on the small of your back, right on the top part of your butt. You don't want to cause it to arch your back, so it's going to be right below where that arch is, right on kind of the top part of the butt. And you're going to be pushing your hips forward just a little bit. In a seated position, that push doesn't matter as much, but you will feel that your chest opens up as you imagine your heart coming up towards the sky. So you're feeling your chest lift, and your hips aren't moving yet. So right now, this is an awesome stretch for across the chest, across the shoulders. You're even stretching out a little bit through the core. But if you have the ability to come down to your knees, one struggle when you're in a seated position a lot is that your hip flexors get very tense and tight. They're just sitting there in that flex position the entire time. So right now, putting your hands in that same spot, allowing yourself to push your hips forward and opening your chest up. Now you're feeling that stretch through your hip flexors, through your core. You're feeling all of the benefits of the lower body stretch with that chest stretch. So this kind of amplifies this stretch quite a bit. And this is always a much better stretch in the kneeling position than in a seated position if you have the ability to. So deep breath in, head tall. And as you exhale, see if you can push your hips just a little further. Lift that heart up towards the sky just a little bit more, and then back down to a normal position. And then our last stretch, again in that seated position, you'll notice what my hamstrings are doing. Hamstrings are the muscles that go right here. My hamstrings are always in that bent position. I never get a chance to do this very rarely, and especially lean forward and actually truly stretch my hamstrings. So if you happen to be in an office setting, doing a hamstring stretch is usually a big benefit for you. It's going to stretch out all the muscles along that posterior chain. So right now, we're just going to reach down, touch your toes. And we'll do this a few different ways. We have 3 stretches here, but they'll all be fairly quick. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, allow those hands to sink down more and more and more until you feel them on the ground. Trying to keep your legs fairly straight with a soft bend in your knees. Deep breath in. Slowly exhaling, allowing your hands to sink down even more. And back up. Next, crossing your right leg across your left, just like so. You'll find that you can't come quite as low this way, but we're going to take a deep breath in, and then slowly exhale down. So in that other version, I could place my knuckles onto the ground. On this one, my fingertips can't even touch the ground. It's putting a lot more emphasis on that leg that's straight. So it's putting a lot of emphasis on that leg as you come down into that hamstring stretch. And you'll usually find that one leg can stretch just a little further than the other, and that's totally normal. One more deep breath in, exhaling down, switch sides. But as you switch to this leg, kind of keep note of which leg might be struggling just a little bit more. That can be helpful when you're doing your own mobility work, your own stretches, to know, oh hey, maybe I want to spend just a little bit more time on that leg that I know isn't as flexible. But crossing that leg over, and then slowly exhaling down. And I didn't actually do this beforehand, but I can tell a big difference. I noticed that this leg I'm on now is a lot more flexible than my opposite leg. So now I know for myself, when I'm doing some hamstring mobility work, that I should focus just a little bit extra on that first leg, which was my left leg. One more deep breath in, and as you exhale, allow yourself to sink down and rest. All right. And that's it for today. Some stretches that you can easily do in the office, in your office chair, most of them. Some of those you might have to get out of the chair for just a little bit, but hope you had fun. Glad you guys could join me, and I'll see you again next week.